A very good morning to all my dear students. Hope you are all well. Students, now in this tutorial, we are going to study a new topic, that is the Green Revolution. So students, what is Green Revolution? Scientific techniques are used in scientific techniques are used in agriculture in many countries including India, which rises into green revolution. So actually, what is a green revolution? Green revolution means extraordinary increase in agricultural produce, means when we have to increase agricultural production at a very large scale, that is called a green revolution. And how this extraordinary increase is possible? It is possible when the farmers, they will adopt the new technologies, when they will adopt high yielding varieties of seeds, then the green revolution is possible. So what is green revolution? It refers to an extraordinary increase in agricultural produce, जिसमें खेती में बहुत ज़्यादा उत्पादन करना लार्ज स्केल पे, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन. In Mexico, high yield strains of wheat produced dwarf variety of wheat that could grow under a variety of climatic conditions. These seeds were also exported to other countries. Also, this effort simultaneously started in India. So students, what is dwarf variety of wheat? Dwarf variety of wheat is a shorter plant. एक छोटा सा, वैसे तो बड़े बड़े प्लांट्स होते हैं जहाँ पे वीट उगता है, बट व्हाट इज़ दिस ड्वार्फ वैरायटी ऑफ वीट? इट इज़ अ शॉर्टर प्लांट with a stronger stalk which will not fall over in the wind or if the grain head gets heavy. So ये एग्रीकल्चर, एक ही छोटा सा प्लांट होता है जिसकी डंडी बहुत मजबूत होती है, और जितनी भी हवा चले या जो ग्रेन है जब वो उग जाता है अच्छे तरीके से, तो क्या होता है, ये ड्वार्फ वैरायटी ऑफ वीट बिल्कुल गिरता नहीं है, चाहे जितनी हवा चल जाए या अगर उसका ग्रेन हेड बहुत ज़्यादा हैवी हो जाए, तो ये इस टाइप का ड्वार्फ वैरायटी ऑफ वीट गिरता नहीं है, विल नॉट फॉल. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ वैरायटी ऑफ वीट इज़ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्रोड्यूस्ड इन Mexico, and today India is also adopting this technique of producing dwarf variety of wheat. Its seeds were also exported to other countries. As a result, there was phenomenal increase in agricultural production. The International Rice Research Institute was established at Los Buenos in the Philippines. The scientists at this institute developed the dwarf strain of rice. In the same way, this International Rice Research Institute, they also produced the dwarf strain of rice. These new seeds raised rice production in lots of Asian countries many times. So students, you know that in wheat what happens? What type of climate we want? It needs actually it is a kharif crop. Yes. So sorry students, I got confused. Actually this wheat is a rabi crop. Yes, and it requires the temperature of 17 degrees Celsius to grow and little rainfall. So when this dwarf variety of wheat is produced, yes, when it was produced in Mexico, this variety of wheat can be produced in any climatic conditions. So this is one of the best merit of this dwarf variety of wheat, that it can be produced in any climatic conditions. In India, scientists at the Indian Council of Agricultural Research and at other regional laboratories also developed hybrid rice seeds. Similar efforts were later extended to oilseeds and other agricultural crops. Hybrid rice seeds means it a plant that has parents of two different types, means this type of rice is produced by two different types of plant, by two different types of species. That is called a hybrid rice. So there is a great development now in the agricultural production also, and the institutes, they are also researching on various fields to increase the agricultural production. Now we will study case studies India and the United States. Both these countries are focused on development issues. The aim of these two countries is the relationship to the environment and to bring out favorable and unfavorable circumstances. So what is the main aim of these countries, India and United States? To focus on development, yes, by using the environment, to bring the development in the country by using the environment, in having relationship to the environment. On the basis of certain criteria, some common aspects are being studied in each case in order to commute these units. These aspects are land tenure, scale of operations, transport, marketing, labor, capital and government influence. So, in what type of study is done? Studies are also done related to land tenure. Scale of operations means all these studies are related to the agricultural production, and these are the things which we need in agriculture production also. Land tenure, transport we need, marketing we need, labor we need, capital we need, government influence. So all these studies were done related to agriculture, that how to increase more agriculture production. The results of these case studies generally represent conditions prevailing at national levels in each country. So, after this, what a result came? The result came that it representing the conditions of the agriculture in each country, that in which countries the agricultural production is low and where the agricultural production is high. Now students, we will study agriculture in India. About 70% of the Indian population is directly or indirectly involved in agriculture. India has lots of advantage for the development of agriculture. Some of them are given below. So, in India, about 70% of the people are engaged. And what are the advantages? If there is a development of agriculture, then it is good for India. So what are the advantages of the development of agriculture? First, appropriate temperature for growing plant. Here temperature is suitable for growing plant. Extensive level plains means there are treeless areas also where agricultural production can be done. A plenty of perennial rivers. Perennial rivers means the students, those rivers which flows continuously. Yes, like for example Ganga, Brahmaputra. So these are the perennial. So perennial rivers which flows continuously throughout the year, means they never stop, and that are known as perennial rivers. And example like Ganga, Brahmaputra, every time water is also available. So it helps in the development of agriculture. Adequate rainfall is also there, and soil fertility and seasons. Soil is also fertile mostly in India, like alluvial soil, and seasons are also responsible for the development of agriculture. Like in different seasons, we can grow different crops. India has intensive substance type of agriculture. So I told you what is intensive subsistence type of agriculture. It is that agriculture which is done in densely populated areas, and too much labor is also required, and farms are also very small. So India's population is also high, so mostly intensive type of agriculture is practiced in India. Although over the past few decades there has been a visible shift towards commercial farming, but in few decades what happened, that now the farmers, they are mainly doing the commercial farming, means they are producing the crops for the sale in the market, through which they can earn their livelihood. The literacy levels in India is very low, and our farmers have been using old methods in agriculture. The land has been divided and subdivided. This has made the land holdings extremely small and uneconomical. So as people here, they are means the literacy level rates are not so good in India. So farmers, they are adopting the old methods of techniques, and they are their land holdings are also small, because a big land is there. If farmer's son is there, then sons are there, then what happened? Farmer, they have to divide the land among the sons. So what happened? Like this, the land holdings, it becomes small. Despite the small average size of farm, that is between 1 and 2 acres, certain measures have been taken to reform the production manifold. Green Revolution of the 1960s and 70s created an awareness in the minds of the farmers. So Green Revolution of 1960s and 70s, they have created awareness in the farmers that how with the small acres of land also the production can be increased. Quality seeds, irrigation facilities, mechanization, cooperative farming and availability of loans at low rate interest rates are some of the main factors responsible for the Green Revolution. So these are the factors which are like seeds, good quality seeds, good irrigation facilities, better machines, cooperative farming and availability of loans to the farmers. These are all factors which are responsible for the Green Revolution. If no proper facilities are given to the farmers, can farmers can do extraordinary increase in agricultural production? No. So these are the factors associated with Green Revolution. Some farmers also keep dairy cattle to augment income. Students' meaning of augment is to increase income. Meanwhile, the White Revolution, a part of Green Revolution, increases milk production and it becomes commercialized. So students, White Revolution is associated with milk production, and now time has been changed. Now people, they are doing the business of dairy farming. Yes, and in that what they do, they do the supply of milk. Like this, they earn their livelihood also, and they maintain their standard of living also. India's yield of milk is low compared to dairy farming countries. However, government schemes and the milk formation cooperatives like Amul in Gujarat have led to a remarkable increase in milk production. But earlier, India's production related to milk is very low. But now government, they have introduced some certain schemes and many milk formation cooperatives like Amul. Amul is a brand of Gujarat, and today you see there are so many products of Amul. Yes, and which are sell in the market also. So like this, the production, like this, there is a remarkable increase in milk production. Now people, what they do, they not consume the milk for themselves, but they also sell in the market. They make the products from milk, and then it is also sell in the market. So dairy farming has also become a very important occupation of the people. The Green Revolution has been mainly successful in the states of Punjab, Haryana and the northern and northwestern part of Uttar Pradesh. The Green Revolution had the following characteristics. Now what are the characteristics? Plenty of water for irrigation, high yielding varieties of seeds, using of insecticides and pesticides, plenty use of chemical fertilizers, providing electricity for rural areas, consolidation of land holdings. Consolidation, students, means that bringing different pieces of land and merge them into one land. That is called consolidation. Mechanization of farming, development of transport facilities, provide agricultural loan on soft terms, agricultural universities for technical training. So these are the characteristics of green revolution which help the farmer. Wheat is a major crop in the regions of the northern plain. Wheat is grown in winter as a rabi crop, and there are a lot of facilities for irrigation provided by multi-purpose projects. Students, name you have this Bhakra Nangal project, which is in Himachal Pradesh, is a multi-purpose project. Why? In terms of tourism, people they are coming and looking. Then in terms of agriculture, and it provide ample water for irrigation. So through these dams many works can be done. Yes, these dams help in the in doing different types of work. That is why they are called as multi-purpose projects. Double and multiple cropping is followed and crop rotation methods have been adopted. So students, what is the meaning of double cropping? Cropping means growing 2 crops in a year. साल में 2 क्रॉप्स उगाना, दैट इज डबल क्रॉपिंग. एंड मल्टीपल क्रॉपिंग इज द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ ग्रोइंग 2 और मोर क्रॉप्स इन द सेम पीस ऑफ लैंड. मीन्स एक से ज़्यादा जब क्रॉप्स उगाए जाते हैं एक ही पीस ऑफ लैंड पे, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ मल्टीपल क्रॉपिंग. Now we will study the main features of Indian agriculture. The land holdings are meager due to the inheritance law. Meager means little. Inheritance law है विरासत कानून. इसमें क्या होता है कि फार्मर्स को अगर उसके पास बहुत बड़ा लैंड है तो अपने बेटों में डिवाइड करना पड़ता है, जिससे उसके पास लैंड होल्डिंग्स बहुत कम हो जाती है. सो दैट इज़ विरासत कानून, इनहेरिटेंस. दिस लीड्स टू स्मॉल एंड अनइकोनॉमिक लैंड होल्डिंग्स. और किसानों और जो फार्मर्स होते हैं उनके पास स्मॉल और छोटे हिस्से आते हैं लैंड के. Different parts of India have subsistence agriculture in which the farmers consume almost their entire farm production with little surplus to sell in the market. So many parts of India they are following the subsistence agriculture. What is that? In this the farmers produce but it consume more for themselves and less production is sell in the market. Why is it so? Because in subsistence farming the condition of the farmer is not good, so whatever they produce first they consume for themselves. Most farm works like irrigation, plugging, threshing, harvesting and transportation of agricultural products are done by the animals. Fourth, agriculture in India depends on the monsoon winds that are unreliable and irregular. Fifth, agriculture is a major source of employment for the rapidly growing population of India. So agriculture provides employment also. Sixth, agriculture plays an important role to provide enough food for the increasing population. That is why the food crops are largely produced. Why agriculture is one of the main feature, that agriculture plays a very important role in providing food to the growing population. 7. Though India has the largest number of livestock in the world, the area under fodder crop is almost significant. Means too much livestock is there. Yes, large number of livestock where cattle, pigs, cows they are reared, but the area for fodder crop I told you, the crops which are grown for the animals, that is fodder crop like alfalfa, but the production of fodder crop is areas under fodder crop is less. India has 2 major crop seasons here, Kharif season and Rabi season. Now students, we will study farms in the USA. The USA is the 4th largest country in the world. It is situated in the continent of North America. Its total population is about 30 crores. People from different countries of the world came here in search of food and wealth. It is found that the central part of the USA is a plain without trees where tall grasses grow. So, a central part of India is a plain where no trees are there but only tall grasses are there. So, this is the middle portion of North America, and the emigrants means the people they live there called call this region as Pararis. Now, next is there. Nowadays, the USA is one of the developed countries. It has vast fertile plains and extensive grasslands. The prairies of the USA are located in the interior of continent. It experiences an extreme type of climate. Means winters are cold and summers are hot air. So students, in both these paragraphs, actually the information is given about the central part of the USA where tall grasses grow and no trees are rare, and this region is known as prairies. Now next is, we have selected let's see this a short story. We have selected a farm in the Midwest region. Midwest region means, students, the north central states of USA like Chicago, Ohio. It is not the largest farm because most of the farms in the USA are very large. Samuel is the owner of the farm and lives with his family on the farm itself. The geographical condition like relief of the land, climatic conditions, etc. favor the cultivation of a large variety of crops including corn, soya bean, wheat and sugar beet. But Samuel gives preference to the cultivation of maize, that is known as corn, in the USA over other crops. So students, there is one person, Samuel, he is the owner of the farm and his farm is very small. Actually, on his farm, he can do the cultivation of crops like corn, soya bean, wheat and sugar beet. But student, this Samuel do the cultivation of maize which is called as corn in USA. Samuel's farm is a very large farm. When his farm is compared to the above average landholding in India, means when we compare the farm of Samuel with the farms of India, so his farm is very big. Due to its size, most of the farm work like plugging, seeding, harvesting, threshing, etc. are done with the help of machines. He always concentrates about the fertility of the soil. Means he is always means he is always concerned with the fertility of soil, that is soil should be fertile. He make test of the soil in soil laboratories and get advice about type and quantity of fertilizer to be used so that the nutritional level of the soil can be maintained. Contour plugging and rotation of crops are regularly practiced.